on the number of those that are unemployed, we were sitting at 8.2 million in the red color, and we've gone up by about 140,000 people, straight to 8.4 million people.
It's the first job sprint released since former Capitec CEO Gerrie Fourie criticized the stats body's data, claiming the unemployment rate is overstated. Maluleke has again defended the credibility of the data.
One of the things I need to say is that we will make a big mistake as a country if we want to assume that we do not have an unemployment challenge.
We move to the East Rand, where 2 people have been arrested in Germiston following demonstrations by residents over evictions at a block of flats they've been occupying in the CBD. Protesting residents also set ablaze the Home Affairs building in the area. Some residents are claiming they were taken by surprise when the Red Ants stormed into their homes to evict them. The city of Ekurhuleni says it obtained an eviction order in June to remove the occupants for failure to pay their rent to the city, additionally claiming the tenants were sent notices on time to leave the premises. The Metro is currently conducting evictions on 4 blocks of flats in Farrow Park over unpaid rent. Thando Luhle is in Germiston.
Shoes, blankets, food, cutlery, appliances litter the streets as the Red Ants forcefully remove people occupying a block of flats in Farrow Park. Some of the residents claim they were not given an eviction notice, while others say their payments are up to date and don't know why they are being evicted. According to a court order, eviction notices were issued in June, and the city says while there was no eviction date, residents were notified that it would be imminent. Police have since managed to disperse the protesters using tear gas and rubber bullets. Meanwhile, emergency services have extinguished the fire at a Home Affairs building not far from where the demonstrations took place. Police have reopened one street for traffic. Thando Luhle, Eyewitness News.
Lobby group AfriForum and the Solidarity Movement have joined legacy foundations in boycotting this weekend's first national convention. The group says the national dialogue has been hijacked by the ANC. This weekend, a precursor to the national dialogue will be hosted, where representatives from different sectors of society will meet to set the agenda for the dialogue. But last week, legacy foundations, including the Thabo Mbeki Foundation, the Desmond and Leah Tutu, as well as the Steve Biko Foundations, withdrew from this weekend's convention. Khomotso Modise has more.
AfriForum and Solidarity have aligned themselves with the views of the legacy foundations that this weekend's national convention will not be citizen-led as was initially intended. They say they were keen to be part of the dialogue when they were invited by organizations like the Thabo Mbeki Foundation. But Solidarity's chairperson, Base says it now seems the ANC wants to hijack the national dialogue to try win back lost support.
The ANC has been responsible for most of the crisis in the country and cannot solve it on their own. Therefore, in the country's interest, we are prepared to participate in real talks with others about solutions, but then such discussions must not be an ANC-led process that would only end up in a cul-de-sac.
AfriForum says while it will be withdrawing from this weekend's convention, like the legacy foundations, it will be consulting with the groups on their stance towards the entire national dialogue. Khomotso Modise, Eyewitness News in Centurion.
Higher Education Minister Buti Manamela has outlined a sweeping reform plan for the country's post-school education and training system, saying the sector remains fragmented, underperforming and out of step with the economy's needs. The minister briefed the media in Pretoria this morning, 3 weeks since he was appointed into his new role after his predecessor Nobuhle Nkabani was dismissed over misleading Parliament about the SETA board panel appointments. Manamela's 6 objectives include creating a unified system, expanding access, aligning courses with jobs, improving quality, tightening governance and securing long-term funding stability. Mungezi Koko is in Pretoria.
Newly appointed Higher Education Minister Buti Manamela says the reform plan is built on 5 pillars of job creation, a green just transition, stronger public sector capacity, African-led research and innovation, and social inclusion. In the next 3 months, Manamela says he wants to stabilize NSFAS, restructure sector education and training authorities, begin long-term funding talks with Treasury and launch 3 flagship projects. Over the next year, the minister plans to pilot autonomous colleges, introduce new TVET curriculums and roll out a national database for the sector.
We've already indicated to actors within the system to look forward to engaging with them qualitatively on the pieces of legislation amendments that we'll be instituting.
Manamela says the aim is a single, coherent and high-performing system. Mungi Zikoko. Eyewitness News, Tshwane.
And Trade and Industry Minister Park Stau says a revised trade offer has been tabled to the U.S. as South African officials make concessions to Washington's calls to balance trade. The resolution was made at a cabinet meeting last week. Stau says the new offer responds to the issues the U.S. has raised in the 2025 National Trade Estimates report substantively. In a shake-up to address trade deficits, the U.S. imposed 30% tariffs on imports from South Africa, the highest duty charged on goods from any sub-Saharan nation. Nobukayam Dambo has more.
The new offer to be submitted to U.S. trade officials today builds on the previous offer submitted in May. The previous offer included a commitment to investing $3.3 billion in U.S. industries such as mining and metals recycling, agricultural market access by simplifying U.S. poultry exports under the 2016 tariff rate quota, and a readiness to open market access for blueberries. Trade and Industry Minister Park Stau says he can't give too much away about how the new deal has been modified.
Now, the trick is not to get the U.S. to read about the offer in the newspaper. So please excuse me until such time that at least they've received and processed the offer that we have made.
It's unclear at this stage how long it will be until the U.S. responds to the latest proposal. Nogukanyam Dambo, Eyewitness News.
Gold's trading at $3,342.49 an ounce. The rand's at 17.72 to the dollar, at 23.84 to the pound, at 20.57 to the euro. Brent crude oil's at $66.85 a barrel.
Heading into the Joburg CBD, traffic remains heavily backed up. That's in the Amalgam area on Main Reef Road between Nasrec Road and Anderson, and in Alberton expect about a 30-minute delay. Heading towards Vereeniging, R59 southbound from the Reading interchange all the way to Swartkoppies.
A look at your weather. It's a partly cloudy afternoon in Gauteng. Today, temperatures are currently peaking at alternating highs of 21 and 22 degrees. The top story in Eyewitness News this hour: the country's unemployment rate has again ticked up, increasing by 0.3 of a percentage point.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app. 702.
We're listening to you. You're with Relebogile Mabotja.
Live, streaming countrywide
on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
Minutes after 1 o'clock. Welcome 702 Afternoons with me, Relebogile Mabotja. On this Tuesday, the 12th of August, we continue and push on. It's quite a busy show today, and I hope you all listen in because there are lots of opportunities that are going to be coming through. We're going to be kicking off the show talking franchise your future with cash converters. This is such a brilliant opportunity. We have actually had a series previously, or a masterclass, I think, on franchising. Head over to primemediaplus.com if you want to get an overview of what it takes. But today specifically is together with Cash Converters South Africa, a brand we all know and love and go to. We'll be joined by Digital Marketing Manager Lerato Mashego to talk about what this is all about. Our tech feature, we're talking CommKonect, a demand for service delivery platform. Jamal Matibe will join us for that, the founder of CommKonect. And then the second hour of the show, it's our series edition. This is episode 2. And we will be talking #FemEffect with Femagene. And we'll be joined by Lunan Damase, first Princess of Miss Teenager South Africa for 2024 and 2025. And we'll be talking about finding your voice in a noisy world. Then we wrap up with our car feature. We'll be discussing race day events, as in experiencing driving a supercar. So maybe you didn't win the Powerball 124 million, but you want to get a feel, you want to get a sense. It is possible, it is accessible. Jared Welby Cook, founder of Race Day Events, will join us for that conversation. And remember, last week we were talking about experiences. That's the new thing, right? Gifting people experiences. An opportunity in a supercar sounds like such a good one. Get in touch with us, 011 883 0702, SMS us 31702, tweet at Relebogile M at Radio 702 using the hashtag 702 Afternoons and the WhatsApp line 072 702 1702.
702 Afternoons
With Relebogile Mabotja.
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Franchise Your Future on Afternoons with me, Relebogile Mabotja, is brought to you by Cash Converters. Take charge of your financial future. Start your franchise journey with Cash Converters on 702. So, what does it mean when we talk franchise your future with Cash Converters? We're joined by Lerato Mashego, Digital Marketing Manager of Cash Converters, Southern Africa. Lerato, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. Happy to be here.
I'm like, firstly, she's wearing a grey bomber jacket, ne? And I'm like, okay, so get Cash Converters.
Yeah.
It's a fly bomber jacket.
Bona.
We'll talk after. Me and
Okay,
you will
yes.
talk after.
I'll hook you up.
And if you guys want to see what it looks like, we are streaming live on YouTube. You'll be able to see us in studio. Head over to the 702 channel. Every single day we are streaming live. And a warning, we might sometimes forget we are live. So if we blow our noses on camera or drink water, don't judge us. But yes, I'm excited for this conversation because I think everybody's always looking for opportunities. And when we think Cash Converters, we think, okay, I need something. I'm not going to buy it brand new, second hand. And I know, like, when my mom and I pop in, we'll say, Relo browser. And then we see, and then we come out with something. But nobody, I myself personally have never walked in and thought, hey, can I have one of these? So maybe give us some background on how that business part is structured. We would just assume there's a head office and it's all owned by, one business.
Yes. Okay, so Cash Converters, we are an international brand. We hail from Australian Perth. We've been around,
but it's ours. You know, when you adopt the brand, it's
we've
ours.
been here for over 30 years.
Yes,
you see, we've been here for over 30 years, and we've basically just been extending the network. We've almost 100 stores in Southern Africa. We have some stores in Namibia, and we've actually have another store in Nigeria.
Oh, what?
Yes.
Why does that? So you guys are Southern Africa, but you're also like, well, Nigeria.
Look, we are branching.
You're just
We are going. Look, we are
further
branching.
north.
Look. Yeah. So we basically we are like, so the head office is obviously the franchisor.
Yes.
And we're looking for people who are business minded, who want to open a Cash Converter store. So that's why we are basically here. We're here to basically tell everybody that they need to come through, and we'll basically help them own their own business.
I'm still stuck on the fact that you guys are also in Nigeria. But I think the bigger question then is, in terms of the need with Cash Converters being in the country for, like you say, 30 years.
Yes.
Has the change in terms of how we buy secondhand not affected the business? We've got, at the same time, I would rather go to a Cash Converters than use Facebook Marketplace because of the horror stories.
Yes.
But has it not presented any kinds of challenges with the Gumtrees and the OLXs and the,
No, like I think it's better to buy stuff from a reputable business, right? And also, I think the need, especially in Cyril's economy at the moment, there's this need for cash. There's this need for constantly buying the things that you want to have at a fraction of the price that is brand new. So there's always this need that people actually do want to have a Cash Converters in the community. We've seen that when you have a Cash Converters in a specific community or in any way, you're creating jobs, right? And you are uplifting the community. And you've seen that most of the franchisees, or all the franchisees that have stores, are literally looking after the community's needs. So whether you're looking for secured or unsecured money lending, there's always a need for cash. Whether you're looking for a 72-inch TV, there's always that need. And there's always a need also for people to clear out their house. All the unused items that they don't have, they can constantly come to our stores and sell it to us. So there's definitely a need in every single community. There's always a need for a cash converter store.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we continue. Yes, we'll have your cash converters questions, but we'll also talk about franchising your future.
It all starts with advice from FNB Private. Because the perfect overseas trip starts with planning. Save and spend in multiple currencies with your FNB Global account and lock in exchange rates. Enjoy up to 40% off flights with eBucks Travel and order Forex on the FNB app delivered to you at no extra cost. Your adventure awaits. Unlock invaluable with FNB Private. Help changes everything. FNB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized FSP and credit provider. TC's earn rules and limits apply.
When you empower a woman, you empower a whole nation. Women have a remarkable way of multiplying whatever is placed in their hands. This August, we're celebrating Women's Month with the theme Building Resilient Economies for All. We reflect and honor the courageous women of 1956 who took a stand against the injustices of the past. We also recognize and celebrate all South African women who continue to lead, build, and inspire across every part of our society, from business and education to peace building and beyond. Yes, there is still much to be done. The pursuit to achieving total gender equality and empowerment will continue until every woman is able to enjoy the benefits of a safe and just society. #Rekaufela Basadi. #Women's Month 2025. A message by the National Department of Sport, Arts and Culture.
Dear Journal, trying to be an adult day 3731. I'm really struggling to explain my parents to my therapist. Might send him to live with them so he can see for himself. What if he ends up in therapy too? Wait, what if they love him more than me?
Finally learning about mental health. Get covered at pineapple.co.za. It's convenient and like 19 Rand a day, so it's 100% the insurance for you. Underwritten by Old Mutual Alternative Risk Transfer Insurer Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP. Premiums are risk profile dependent.
Quantum science has the potential to shape South Africa's next wave of innovation and global competitiveness. Tomorrow, 702 Drive with John Perlman will be in conversation with Wits University's Professor Andrew Forbes as they unpack the country's quantum strategy and what it means for our future. We'll also explore the breakthroughs in quantum computing, imaging, and photonics happening at Wits. Don't miss 702 Drive with John Perlman tomorrow in conversation with Wits University 3 to 7 p.m. Shining a light on quantum futures, Wits for good on 702.
Local entrepreneurs don't just deserve your business, they deserve your applause. Gauteng's greatest awards with 702, powered by Yoko.
Every business begins with heart, but it thrives with the support of its community. And in this year's Gauteng's Greatest Awards on 702, powered by Yoko, we set out to honor the local legends shaping our province, one dream, one service, one customer at a time. So we asked all of you to nominate your favorite local businesses, which you did. You guys showed up. Now the spotlight shifts to the finalists, the entrepreneurs whose names rose from your nominations, the entrepreneurs you will need to vote for to secure their spot as Gauteng's greatest. So we get to announce the first one in my show for today, Kids Party Area. Guys, you know this is a big deal when you're a parent because hosting kids at your house, I will never do it again. Kids Party Area, here are your nominees for 2025. Bounce Inc., Green Tree Farm, Kiddylicious on Nickel, Nunu's The Artist, and Princess Maggie's. Congratulations to all of you. That's Bounce Inc., Green Tree Farm, Kiddylicious on Nickel, Nunu's the Artist, and Princess Maggie's. Now everyone knows them and loves them. That little blue card machine company, Yoko. They've been powering over 200,000 businesses across Mzansi for almost a decade. And now they're set to grow some more. Introducing Yoko Counter. It's the smartest till you'll ever own. No more stacks or slips at the end of the day. Get real-time recons, manage stock, staff, all from one sleek device. Go to yoko.com to order your Yoko Counter today. Now, these are the businesses that all of you believed in. These are your finalists. Voting opens at 6 a.m. on primemediaplus.com, and it's your chance to help crown the best of the best. Keep listening to 702 throughout the day as we reveal more names in the running of Gauteng's greatest with 702, powered by Yoko.
Your voice.
Your life.
Your afternoon radio.
On 702 Afternoons.
With Relebogile Mabotja.
22 minutes after 1 o'clock, we continue with our conversation around franchising your future with Cash Converters. Your calls with your questions on 011 883 0702 in the WhatsApp line 072 702 1702. We're in conversation with Lerato Mashego, Digital Marketing Manager at Cash Converters Southern Africa. Plus, they got Nigeria. It's not just Southern Africa. They are everywhere, Lerato. So, just some questions in terms of franchising. I mean, you spoke about how important Cash Converters are in terms of the fact that they are servicing the community and creating jobs. The part I was now wondering about is I also feel like it creates an environment of upcycling and recycling. Can you maybe chat to us a little bit about that? Because we know we have parents who are sitting with things in their garages from 1970 something.
Yes.
And they're just refusing to let them go. And it's actually so convenient because, guys, that room divider, you know its time is over. You can go and take it somewhere.
Look, I think we do have like houses that have a lot of things that we need to get rid of. And yeah, like, I mean, we obviously take high-end valued items, all the, just because it's secondhand doesn't mean it's second best, it's pre-loved, it's been taken care of, it doesn't necessarily need to be dingy and stinky and all of that stuff. And I think that's the perception that people have of the brand is that, no, we'll just take all the broken stuff, like we take almost everything. And if it's in working good condition, we have a
not
process.
The broken irons that are in the garage that are dead. Nah, not those ones.
Look, we're talking about the iPads that you're not using.
Yes.
You just had an upgrade. Beige is on a PS4. Now you gave him a PS5. You can bring that PS4 in for cash. You know what I'm saying?
I see, yes.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's that constant need for cash that that people have, and they don't necessarily need to be ashamed of it because, it's all about, as you said, sustainability. You don't have to throw everything away. If it's still in good working condition, bring it in. We'll assess it. We'll make sure that it's working, and then we'll negotiate on a price. And, you walk out with cash or on a cashier's card.
Okay, why is it beneficial for it to be, having a franchise? There's some people that are trying to hustle this kind of business, but what are the advantages of being under the umbrella of an established brand with its own template?
Yeah. So I think one of the advantages, obviously, to franchise is that you are going into like a proven business, like a business that has a proven like business model. And it's been there for decades. It's well known, brand recognition. It works. You don't have to worry about the marketing. You don't have to worry about the IT infrastructure. You don't have to worry about a lot of things. So I would reckon that it's actually great. Like if instead of just trying your own thing, rather go into franchising because you also have training. You have support, ongoing support, and you get to own your own business without worrying about a lot of things.
So how then can franchisers ensure that they are actually empowering these franchisees and not just wanting to tick boxes, of where we are?
Yes. So I think one like fundamental thing from being a franchisor is that you need to really believe in your franchisees and the success of your franchisees. So if the franchisee succeeds, the franchisor succeeds. It's a beneficial mutual relationship that happens. And because there's ongoing training, there's a belief that, I believe that this franchisee is going to succeed. So I'm going to support this franchisee from wherever it is they are in their journey or life cycle, we call it. And to know that there's someone that's backing them, someone who's walked the journey, someone who's experienced, and wherever you are in the journey, that franchisor is able to then give you advice so that you can hit those milestones. And I think if the franchisor believes, and it's not just ticking boxes, and believes in the success of the franchisees and who they are and what they want to achieve, I think that's a recipe for like greatness.
So for people that don't know, there's something you touched on about you can come in, and if you're not getting cash, what was the other thing that you said?
You can get cash, or we can load it on the cashies card. Is that what? Or
what is the cashies card? Girl, fill us in.
Okay, so a cashies card is like an e-wallet. It's linked to like an e-wallet. So they put, instead of you walking out with cash, they put it there by e-wallet, they FNB, and then they give you a card. It's got a pin. You go, you can debit, swipe. It's a nice, cutesy little card.
Cashies card?
Yes, it's a cashies card with the logo and everything.
I feel like you just plugged me. How did I not know about that? I did not know about this.
Yes.
Okay, you're introducing us and plugging us. Are there items Cash Converters does not take? We've already said the dead irons, guys.
We don't take cars. We don't take cars.
You don't take. No. You take car parts. No. You don't take cars or car parts.
Look, I think it also differs from, but the rule of thumb is you do the business all the time.
Yes.
Because we know that our community is in need of something, and, the rule of thumb is we do the business all the time. Just don't bring the cars, It's a very long process.
Yes, and a different story altogether. I actually didn't realize, but the one that I've been to, Hill Fox. Is it Hill Fox? I think it's Hill Fox. That they actually also have brand new things in-house. So I used to think it's only secondhand until you can actually find a brand new couch where they have a supplier that manufactures.
So I think secondhand is relative, right? You thinking secondhand is something that I've had for years.
Yes.
It's like similar to if you drive your first, like if you go to the car dealership, you get into the car. As soon as you get out, it's already secondhand.
Yes.
So it is secondhand in the sense that somebody has had it. They might have not used it. They might have not opened it.
Yes.
But it's still secondhand.
Okay. I'm excited because we're going to be having this conversation over a few weeks of franchising your future. Final thoughts, just particularly around franchising with Cash Converters.
So I think when it comes to franchising with Cash Converters, we I don't know, do we talk about how much it is? Do we tell them?
I think we can break it down in upcoming episodes, particularly for those that are very interested in getting into it, because I want us to have an opportunity to open up the lines and let the listeners also ask the many questions once we get into all of that. But Lerato, thank you so much for coming through and talking to us. Now you can own a Cash Converters franchise today with 30 years of local and 40 years of global experience. Cash Converters is a trusted franchise brand. Now their proven model offers 3 income streams. That's from the buying, that's from the selling of the second-hand goods, secured lending and unsecured lending too, with new trading products and an expanding web shop. Joining Cash Converters in 2025 offers exciting opportunities. Their turnkey model supports you from initial site selection and bank finance to multi-store ownership. So you can actually get an opportunity to find financial freedom. Join Cash Converters and make life happen. It's just after 1:30, time for your latest Eyewitness News headlines. Good afternoon.
Thanks, Relebogile. Good afternoon. Tensions have quelled in Germiston following demonstrations by residents over evictions at a block of flats they've been occupying in the CBD. 2 people have also been arrested. One street has been reopened for traffic after being closed off due to protesting residents who set ablaze the Home Affairs building in the area this morning. A recent study on coalition governance suggests the ANC's difficulty in accepting its loss of electoral dominance is negatively affecting the stability of the government of national unity. This finding is outlined in the latest barometer on coalition arrangements by the Mapungubwe Institute for Strategic Reflection. The independent think tank examined and analysed trends before and after last year's national and provincial elections. And hundreds of people, including bereaved family members, have descended on Mount Osutaka to mark 40 years since a deadly Japan Airlines crash claimed the lives of more than 500 passengers. Japan Airlines Flight 123 lost control in August 1985. Those are the headlines. This Eyewitness News and more at 2 o'clock or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Well, at this stage, if you're heading into the Joburg CBD, there's bumper-to-bumper traffic on Main Reef Road. This is between Nasrec Road and Anderson, while in Alberton, also expect about a 30-minute delay. This is heading towards Vereeniging on the R59 southbound between the Reading Interchange and Swartkoppies. In the Benoni area, there's bumper-to-bumper traffic. This is on the N12 eastbound approaching Kingsway Road. And look out for those faulty traffic lights in the Edenville area at Morafontein Road and Van Riebeck. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072-702-1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Bongani Bingwa, 702 Breakfast.
Weekday mornings, 6 to 9.
If these groups are allowed to take the law into their own hands, however justified their frustrations may feel to them, and increasingly as this thing spreads, it does appear to me that we're not acting with enough decisiveness on this issue. What happens when they start going into people's homes, into schools, demanding identification, dragging people out of their places of work? What happens when this thing explodes?
Bongani Bingwa, 6 to 9.
On 702.
At the heart of global conversations shaping the future, Africa's voice matters more than ever. As Africa's largest bank by assets and lead sponsor of the B20 Summit, Standard Bank Group is proud to spotlight the continent's growth, partnerships, and potential on the world stage. Through informed dialogue and powerful partnerships, Standard Bank is driving sustainable growth where it matters most. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
Can you really take a chance with your business security? With Nashua, you can confidently protect your people and assets with leading CCTV and surveillance technology. Manage staff access and attendance in real time and monitor your vehicles on the move. All supported with backup power solutions to avoid downtime. Reliable tech to secure your business. Nashua. More than print.
And there you go, your favorite latte, hot and ready.
You never disappoint.
Listen, did you see that email? God, it's going down. Let's catch up later. Got another Zoom meeting.
Oh, okay, cool.
Later.
Meet our audience. They are working, living their lives, sharing stories, and always listening. So if you're going to interrupt them, it better be good. Prime Media Broadcasting Sales. We help you connect with every productive, innovative, and dynamic individual in our audience. From the open plan office to the executive suite. Contact us at advertise@primemedia.co.za today.
Dear Journal, trying to be an adult day 3,471. Fridays at work used to be great. 3 p.m., laptops off, music on, even a cheeky beer. Now I just sit with Teams open and pray that Monet from Finance doesn't message me at 4:57 p.m.
Hating the corporate 9 to 5? Get covered at pineapple.co.za. It's easy and like 19 Rand a day. So it's 100% the insurance for you. Underwritten by Old Mutual Alternative Risk Transfer Insurer Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP. Premiums are risk profile dependent.
Looking for real ways to live greener? Then don't miss Green Tip of the Week, your weekly dose of sustainable inspiration from eco-entrepreneurs to Climate Champions. We sit down with the people making real change. Catch Green Tip of the Week every Tuesday on 702 Drive with John Pillman from 3 to 6 p.m. Only on 702, proudly brought to you by Volvo. It's safe to be brave with Volvo.
This tech feature is brought to you by Xlilo. Big ideas need strong foundations. Build yours with Xlilo.
24 minutes to 2 o'clock, and indeed this tech feature is brought to you by Xlilo, trusted in hosting. And in our tech feature for today, we'll be chatting CommKonect, and that is around a demand for service delivery platform. We take your calls with your questions and comments on 011 883 0702 in the WhatsApp line 072 702 1702 so that we can get to find out a little bit more. And don't worry, we will have more of your Gauteng's greatest announcements happening throughout the show. But I'd like to welcome our guest, Jamal Matibe, the founder of CommKonect. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Relebogile. Thank you for welcoming me. I'm delighted, and thank you for my team is also here.
I see the studios filled with the team coming through to support. What exactly is CommKonect?
Thank you for asking. I won't answer you directly, but I will answer you. Let me ask you a question, Relebogile. In government, private and public sector, what frustrates you the most? Maybe it's health sector, it's police, it's home affairs. What frustrates you the most?
I can answer what frustrates me personally. I can answer what frustrates South Africans, which is service delivery. That's what frustrates South Africans, is service delivery. I think I'm too privileged to answer that one because I'll make a phone call and then... But yes, it's service delivery.
Thank you for answering that. I think you know CommKonect, but from the research globally, what you just aired, there's a universal frustration, not just in South Africa, in America, in Asia, globally, there's a universal frustration in terms of service delivery. People everywhere are frustrated. I mean, every 4 years or 5 years, people head to the polls, and there's a big promise during the polls, during the elections. But after that, you experience a fundamental breakdown in trust, in transparency, accountability, in service delivery. So CommKonect bridges that gap, that niche, to hold elected officials accountable after and post-elections. So we bridge that gap in service delivery. So it's a technology-driven solution that allows users or citizens to actively participate in governance, not to just be, passive citizens. They become active citizens in the platform. I'll stop that for now.
So give us sort of your background that this became an interest for you, because we know businesses don't pop up randomly. Concepts like this don't just happen because of data. Something would have inspired for you to get to this place.
In 2017, me and my business partner were invited in Dubai, but we went for a Prasa Rail Expo. I went for an IT Expo as well, while he was in the Rail Expo. So Dubai was building a smart city. So a company called DID Media in Dubai, they were installing what we call it's a smart city solution called Smart Palm. So it was geared towards giving tourists information about Dubai so that they can enhance their interaction with the city and the municipality. So I was invited to develop a prototype around that. But in the prototype, the key element was service delivery and customer service. So I developed the product for them, DID Media. But back then, I was young, so I sold them part of the intellectual property, around $1.5 million. So I developed that application that is now currently used in a small palm in Dubai. You go to Palm Jumeirah, you'll see a big electronic tree. It's called a smart palm. So once you are within the vicinity of the area, there's Wi-Fi connected as well. You can ask anything, tourist guides, if you have experienced a problem in the beach, you can report it instantly in the palm of your hand. So I developed that application. But as a pity back then, I sold that part of the application. So when I came back a few years later, I use public service mostly.
Can I ask you to just sit up a bit closer? There we go, to your mic.
Yeah.
Yes, there we go.
So when I came back home, like during elections, people are heated up, politicians, big promises, but then it's not only about them promising you the election promises. You go to Home Affairs to apply for a simple passport. You'll go in a long queue, you face frustrations. I mean, not only me, even currently, people face a lot of frustrations.
Actually, somebody sent a WhatsApp when you asked the question earlier of what are the big frustrations. And they said 3+ years for Home Affairs surname change. They're still waiting for their surname to be changed at Home Affairs. So it's interesting that you brought up Home Affairs.
So, we battle with this frustration. In the health sector, our citizens are not prioritized. You'll find that there's no medicines in hospital. And the influx of people there, it's so unimaginable that even now people cannot receive proper health care. But you know why? Because there's no system that can hold not only the government departments or officials accountable. So this system, like I'm saying, this is a game changer. Whereby, imagine Relebogile, a hub whereby all citizens, you have your frustrations or your complaints are locked into one central hub. We form what? It's a formidable, undeniable voice of action. We then prompt the politicians or the elected officials to act because we have the data. So we're giving power back to the people, Relebogile, and holding these people accountable. So come local government elections, they reappear again, the politicians. They reappear again, another broken promises, another false promises. But what's hold them accountable? Of course, there is Facebook, there is WhatsApp, there is... that is in actual fact, you're just voicing out your frustrations, but it ends there.
Yeah.
It ends there. It doesn't solve any problem. So this system, it solves that niche.
I think it's obvious that a government partnership is not a part of the business plan because conflict of interest. But how do you get people? Because in essence, it would. I don't think they would have that type of appetite. But how do you get interest from investors for a platform like this, where it's not a sexy, high money making platform? You do hope eventually that the traffic is sufficient enough that it's funding itself.
A prior launch of this platform, we already have over 4 million user engagement just before launch. We have not even announced it. So the traction is so high. So from a government perspective, of course, it holds leaders accountable. But would you want to be held accountable as a government official or as a ward councillor? You want to escape that accountability.
Unless you are a genuine, good at what you do, well-intended government official, which I believe there are some. I think those people would have the appetite to participate, to say, actually, yes, because my things are stuck because I'm doing my job, but others are not doing their jobs.
Yes, Relebogile, it's not only for the citizens to actively participate in governance. For the government, it's in fact making government more efficient. Let me give you an example why I'm saying that. It will make government more efficient. The system with its data analytics and AI-driven algorithm, it can be able, because, leaders after elections, they lose touch with the ground. They lose touch with the elected people. And they come again after 5 years. They lost touch. There's a huge gap. So with real-time data-driven analytics, it can actually tell the municipalities of government officials the user sentiments. Then you can better plan and do better resource allocation because of the system. That's how it makes governments and municipalities more efficient. So, of course, they would like to partner. I mean, if you don't, we live in a tech-driven world. Come the next 5 years, our data analysis, we say, these are the user sentiments in such and such a community. You cannot lie to us. We won't vote you because it is a transparent, accountable public platform. It's a civic engagement. So you come back again, you're actually going to lose the elections. So we like it if you don't even participate because we will hold you accountable.
You get left behind at the end of the
Yes.
day, or you can be a part of finding the solution, using the data to drive faster service delivery. We need to take a break. When we come back, we continue.
John Perlman. Weekday afternoons.
3 to 6.
What does this, though, reflect about the SANDF and the way money gets spent? Because we're always told there is no money for crucial things like the maintenance of aircraft. Last week we were engaging with concerns around the fact that there was only one helicopter that was able to fly, one Oryx available to go to the Eastern Cape during the floods.
The Defence Forces make it extremely difficult for us, people who advocate for the enlargement of the defence budget so that we can get the Defence Force up and running in a proper way.
John Perlman.
3 to 6 on 702.
For the glow-ups, the much-needed me time, and the places that make you feel like the best version of yourself, some salons and spas go beyond beauty. They become part of your wellness routine. Whether it's flawless brows, soothing massages, or just a space that lets you exhale, now's your chance to say, I see you. Nominate your favorite for Gauteng's greatest beauty salon or spa at primemediaplus.com. Because Gauteng isn't just the hub of business, it's the home of excellence, and excellence deserves your applause. Gauteng's greatest awards with 702, powered by Yoko. Let Yoko counter-fuel your business to greatness. Go to yoko.com to explore the new point-of-sale solution, saving hundreds of businesses time and money.
Brush, stroke, paint, color, protect, and admire. From roof paint to exterior textures and interior silk, Warrior Paints has it all. The product range and stylish colors are amazing. And what's more, Warrior Paints has crushed prices for incredible savings. Enjoy that good old-fashioned personal service you deserve. For price, quality, variety, and service, Warrior Paints is street ahead. Warrior Paints, affordable, lasting, luxury.
Hi, I'm Dion Free. Winning requires audacity. That's why I joined African Bank and opened a 60-month fixed-term investment account. I'm scoring 12.8% interest at expiry on my investment. How cool is that? You too can join the bank that backs you to grow your money. Pop into a branch near you or visit africanbank.co.za. African Bank. Audacity to believe. African Bank is a licensed financial services and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
702.
Tech feature.
11 minutes to 2 o'clock. We continue with our tech feature as we chat CommKonect, a demand for service delivery platform. We're chatting to Jamal Matibe, the founder of CommKonect. Your questions and comments on 011 883 0702 and the WhatsApp line 072 702 1702. Can we delve into some of the features on this platform beyond being able to say, pothole, still here, told you guys 3 weeks ago, here's the reference. Like, what else can it do?
Beyond you reporting fault lines in service delivery, CommKonect is also a global radio plugged into it. So while you are in the app, you can listen to any radio station globally at a touch of a button. So that, you don't get bored in the platform. So you can listen to all global radios and you actually can surf between global latest news, current affairs. But beyond that, you can also have evidence. Let me give you an example, a real life example. Gender-based violence. I'm in a house, my girlfriend or boyfriend hits you, or how many minutes you take to call the police and actually go to the police station. While you arrive there, then you find a queue. But with CommKonect, you can actually bridge that gap. You can cut that queuing in the police. You can actually take evidence of the gender-based violence as a victim and snap that video, they can route it to that police station.
Mm.
And it helps what? It helps that police station to act quickly and promptly, and it's evidence-based. So we're making even the police services more efficient. We're cutting the queues, we're cutting the frustrations, because sometimes evidence disappear between you arriving at the police station or between the police actually arriving at your home when you report an issue. But with this platform, we bridge that gap. You can report in real time if you are victimized in gender-based violence. So we bridge that gap, and it's transparent. I mean, imagine I don't know if it's 1 year ago, when evidence was tampered with and recordings in a certain prison about the story of a certain individual. But if you had CommKonect, that evidence couldn't have disappeared. You will be able to, in real time, capture that moment. So it really solves a lot of problems in society.
I want to understand how does that work from the back end point of view, that me reporting and putting up evidence, is it working like a cloud storage, or is it automatically beginning the process of opening a case? Just so I can understand, what is it actually doing for you besides the aspect of capturing? Is it connecting to the SAP? How does that work, especially in the example that you used?
Yes, in the back end, we have the citizen engagement, whereby normal users can log into the platform. But from a government back end, you'll have a representative of government. Maybe a certain, because the first thing in communities, we interact with councillors, ward councillors actually. Those people are the first point of engagement with the community. So a ward councillor will have their own profile in the system. So let me say Ward 37 in a certain location, they will have their own profile in the system. So when the community member interacts, they can quickly and directly in real time escalate that issue to the ward councillor. Maybe let me say it's a city power depot. You can quickly escalate that issue to that depot. If its issue is about electricity, you can quickly escalate it. But then it doesn't end there. If you don't respond, it will measure your resolution time as that municipality or depot. It will measure how long did it take that department to resolve a problem. So those stats are logged and they are kept. So the resolution rate will see how efficient you are as a dispenser of services. So to tell you a resolution rate, it will actually give you analytics of how many issues are resolved in a specific time frame. So for example, councillors and members of parliament, there is often a conflict in a community. A member of parliament will come after 2 years to visit a community, and he doesn't get honest, transparent issues on the ground. But if he has a profile within the system, he can see in real time what's happening in his community. So he can actually police his own people. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Yes.
And also just use it to make sure that they are doing their jobs. All right, so we can download on the Apple, and you can download on the Google Play Store as well. CommKonect is spelled CommKonect, CommKonect, and that is where you can get access to what we've spoken about today, because I think it is quite important that the more tools we have for not just efficiency but also accountability, the better positioned we will be. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you very much, Relebogile, and thank you to the audience. Thank you to my team. Thank you.
At Nilo, they know that every big idea needs the right foundation. From web hosting, high-performance self-managed servers, and cloud hosting, they're here to help you grow with the reliability you need and service you can trust. Because when your foundation is strong, your vision can go further. Big ideas need strong foundations. Build yours with Nilo.
Beyond politics.
CD, I'm not going anywhere.
It's honest
conversations with politicians and newsmakers on Polytricking with Sidi Madia on EWN. It gets heavy.
Even in losing the election in Polokwane, people regret Zuma. They don't regret not backing Mbeki.
Me, I don't regret nothing. Because he gave people a sword to stab him with.
Yeah.
It gets personal.
There's a tendency to paint the entire GNU with the whims and the feelings of the DA at any particular moment. It is not a fact.
It gets to their truth.
If you check the videos, it started coming like organically on the ground. Random leaders of the FF was command saying, no man, this Floyd must go away.
You call him VBS Floyd, don't you?
Yeah, it's VBS Floyd.
Why is Julius Malema not VBS
but
Malema?
The president was cleared by parliament, guys.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You're defending even Floyd Shivambuni who's in the EFF from VBS. Suddenly it's VBS Floyd.
No, I never defended.
Catch a new episode every Wednesday on PrimeMediaPlus.com. Polytricking with Sidi Madia on EWN. On record, in touch, in tune, and independent.
Selling your car shouldn't be a mission. We Buy Cars gets it. Life is short and time is precious. Get an offer online and sell your car within a day from wherever it suits you. It's really that simple with We Buy Cars. Shopping for your new ride. Discover thousands of vehicles online or in-store. We Buy Cars, South Africa's trusted way to buy and sell cars.
Elevate your flying experience with Lift Premium. Enjoy even more space, comfort, and convenience with priority boarding, extra baggage allowance, and complimentary lounge access. Visit lift.co.za today.
To live wealthier, you need to be able to grow your assets. At Standard Bank Private, you get a team of internationally acclaimed financial experts to advise you on local and global investment strategies. Plus, being with a leader in home loans, you can start expanding your property portfolio. So, come live wealthier with Africa's best private bank. Apply online at standardbank.co.za. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Local entrepreneurs don't just deserve your business, they deserve your applause. Gauteng's greatest awards with 702, powered by Yoko.
It's that time again where we get to announce for Gauteng's greatest with Yoko. And the spotlight is shifting to the finalists, the entrepreneurs whose names rose from your nominations, all powered by Yoko. This is Gauteng's greatest awards with 702. And these are the entrepreneurs that you will need to vote for to secure their spot as Gauteng's greatest. In the category of greatest sushi, this is a big one. In the category of greatest sushi, here are the contenders. East Side Sushi in Pretoria East. Soweto Sushi Spot, Sushi Samba in Sandton, and Walk and Roll. Congratulations to all of you. You are nominated. You are finalists. Now, for over 200,000 South African businesses, Yoko has been there backing the brave, simplifying payments with their legendary little blue card machine. They've built a legacy of making businesses run smarter. Now meet the next generation of smart. Yoko Counter, it's the smartest till you'll ever own. An all-in-one hub for seamless payments, automatic recons, effortless stock control and staff management. Go to yoko.com to level up these businesses, folks. They are the ones you've believed in. These are your finalists. Voting opens at 6 a.m. on PrimeMediaPlus.com. And it's your chance to help crown the best of the best. Keep listening to 702 throughout the day as we reveal more names in the running for Gauteng's greatest with 702, powered by Yoko. It's 2 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Good afternoon, I'm Maki Malapo. We begin in the East Rand, where tensions have quelled in Germiston following demonstrations by residents over evictions at a block of flats they've been occupying in the CBD. 2 people have also been arrested. One street has been reopened for traffic after being closed off after protesting residents set ablaze the Home Affairs building in the area this morning. Some residents are claiming they were taken by surprise when the Red Ants stormed into their homes to evict them. The city of Ekurhuleni says it obtained an eviction order in June to remove the occupants for failure to pay their rent to the city, additionally claiming the tenants were sent notices on time to leave the premises. The Metro is currently conducting evictions on 4 blocks of flats in Faro Park over unpaid rent. Tandoluhle Ngcobo is there.
Shoes, blankets, food, cutlery, appliances litter the streets as the Red Ants forcefully remove people occupying a block of flats in Faro Park. Some of the residents claim they were not given an eviction notice, while others say their payments are up to date and don't know why they are being evicted. According to a court order, eviction notices were issued in June, and the city says while there was no eviction date, residents were notified that it would be imminent. Police have since managed to disperse the protesters using tear gas and rubber bullets. Meanwhile, emergency services have extinguished the fire at a Home Affairs building not far from where the demonstrations took place. Police have reopened one street for traffic. Tandoluhle Ngcobo, Eyewitness News.
In the Western Cape, former accused turned state witness in the Jocelyn Smith trial, Laurentia Lombard, has today returned to the dock. The court has heard arguments as to why she should be granted indemnity. The missing girl was 6 years old when she disappeared in Saldanha Bay in February last year. In May, her mother, Kelly Smith, her mother's boyfriend, Jaquina Polis, and his friend, Stefano van Rijn, were handed life sentences for human trafficking. Lauren Isaacs has more.
Laurentia Lombard may only tomorrow hear whether she'll be granted indemnity from prosecution. During argument in her favor, the court has heard she had testified frankly and honestly as a state witness. Huge personal sacrifices were also highlighted as she and her children were uprooted from their lives and community to be placed under witness protection. Lombard's testimony proved pivotal in the conviction and sentencing of Kelly Smith, Jaquina Polis and Stefano van Rijn. She told the court she witnessed Smith sell her daughter to a Sangoma for 20,000 rand in February 2024. The court is today also hearing applications for leave to appeal the convictions and sentences handed down in May, but the convicted traffickers are not present in court. Lauren Isaacs, Eyewitness News, Western Cape High Court.
Higher Education Minister Buti Manamela has outlined a sweeping reform plan for the country's post-school education and training system, saying the sector remains fragmented, underperforming and out of step with the economy's needs. The minister briefed the media in Pretoria earlier today, 3 weeks since he was appointed into his new role after his predecessor, Nobuhle Nkabane, was dismissed over misleading Parliament about the SETA board panel appointments. Manamela's 6 objectives include creating a unified system, expanding access, aligning courses with jobs, improving quality, tightening governance and securing long-term funding stability. Mungezi Koko has more.
Newly appointed Higher Education Minister Buti Manamela says the reform plan is built on 5 pillars of job creation, a green just transition, stronger public sector capacity, African-led research and innovation, and social inclusion. In the next 3 months, Manamela says he wants to stabilize NSFAS, restructure sector education and training authorities, begin long-term funding talks with Treasury and launch 3 flagship projects. Over the next year, the minister plans to pilot autonomous colleges, introduce new TVET curriculums and roll out a national database for the sector.
We've already indicated to actors within the system to look forward to engaging with them qualitatively on the pieces of legislation amendments that we'll be instituting.
Manamela says the aim is a single, coherent and high-performing system. Mungezi Koko, Eyewitness News, Tshwane.
A recent study on coalition governance suggests the ANC's difficulty in accepting its loss of electoral dominance is negatively affecting the stability of the government of national unity. This finding is outlined in the latest barometer on coalition arrangements by the Mapungubwe Institute for Strategic Reflection. The independent think tank examined and analyzed trends before and after last year's national and provincial elections. Its report concludes that the ANC appears to still be grappling with the reality of operating operating within a coalition framework. Alpha Ramashwana reports.
The Mapungubwe Institute for Strategic Reflection warns that tensions between the ANC and DA could threaten the government of national unity. Its report notes that while the GNU is grappling with a significant policy crisis, neither party wants to be blamed for collapsing the coalition. It finds that the two parties often clash but eventually pull back to avoid being seen as destabilizing the GNU. Lead researcher Susan Boysen adds that the ANC appears to be struggling to come to terms with its new reality.
ANC is perhaps still trying to come to terms with the fact that it is now in a coalition government where it is expected that power must be shared. Instead, the GNU is used as a platform to help mobilize for a return to majority power.
She says the smaller parties in the GNU do not pose an ideological threat to the stability of the GNU. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News, Johannesburg.
And hundreds of people, including bereaved families, have descended on Mount Osutaka to mark 40 years since a deadly Japan Airlines crash claimed the lives of more than 500 passengers. Japan Airlines Flight 123 lost control in August 1985. It's understood a loud noise was heard soon after takeoff and an emergency was declared before the aircraft shook violently before crashing. The plane was traveling from Tokyo to Osaka. Family members hiked up the trails to the Cinepath erected on Mount Osutaka where the jet crashed. Gold's trading at $3,346.78 an ounce. The rand's at 17.72 to the dollar, at 23.85 to the pound, at 20.57 to the euro. Brent crude oil's at $66.43 a barrel.
Well, at this stage, if you're in the Lenasia area, there's bumper-to-bumper traffic. This is on the Golden Highway between Fun Valley and the R554 at Nirvana Drive. There's also roadworks up further up the Golden Highway. That's in the Devland area on the Golden Highway between the N1 and Union, also due to roadworks. And look out for those faulty traffic lights in the Edenville area at Modderfontein Road and Van Riebeek.
Look at your weather. It's a partly cloudy afternoon in Gauteng. Today, temperatures are peaking at alternating highs of 21 and 22 degrees. The top story in Eyewitness News this hour. Tensions have quelled in Germiston following demonstrations by residents over evictions at a block of flats they've been occupying in the CBD.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Tell us what we need to know.
702 listens.
You're with Relebogile Mabotja
Live, streaming countrywide
on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
Nine minutes after 2 o'clock, the second and final hour of 702 Afternoons with me, Relebogile Mabotja. And we're going to be jumping into it now. If you recall, last week we had a conversation with Cindy Paluta. Well, we'll be having another fantastic conversation as we enjoy and celebrate Women's Month in our series edition. #FemEffect with Femagene, and we look forward to all of you engaging in the conversation around finding your voice in a noisy world. I hope you send through some of your tips and tricks and advice that you'd like to share. We'll be joined by Luna Ndamaze, who is a first princess for Miss Teenager South Africa 2024 and 2025. Then we wrap up with our car feature. We're going to be talking about supercars and getting that experience of getting to drive one yourself without even having to own it. You get to have the experience. So all you have to do is get in touch with us. 011-883-0702. SMS us 31702. Tweet at Relebogile M at Radio 702 using the hashtag 702 Afternoons and the WhatsApp line 072-702-1702 for all of your comments and questions on what's coming up.
702
Series Edition.
The FemEffect Series Edition with me, Relebogile Mabotja, is brought to you by Femagene. Choose care that empowers. Choose Femagene. Care for all the woman you are every day. Now, Luna Ndamase recently earned the title of First Princess in the Miss Teenager South Africa 2024-2025 pageant. But she's more than just a crown. Luna is actually using her platform to uplift others, speak out on issues that matter, and inspire young women to find their voice. She's an ambassador for Impilo Child Protection, a program dedicated to safeguarding vulnerable children under the age of 6, and a passionate advocate for confidence, care, and compassion. Today's part of Femagene's #FemEffect campaign. We're chatting to Luna about finding your voice, owning your power, and how the journey into womanhood can start with something as simple and as powerful as care. Right here on 702. Luna, welcome. Thank you so much for coming through.
Hi, Sis Rele. Thank you so much for having me.
Firstly, you look gorgeous. You guys have to go on the YouTube.
Thank you so
Stream
much.
it live and see how fantastic she looks with her crown. I don't know if you know, but I kind of have a thing with pageants right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, firstly, what got you even into the space, especially in this era where you, as a young person, are not just now exposed to, in our day, we were okay at the mall. We were Miss Okay and Miss Edgar's, right? But now you are like putting yourself out there for everybody to critique.
So funny story. Growing up, my aunts, my uncles, anyone who came across me would tell my mom, you need to sign this child up for a modeling agency. She needs to have her face out there. And my mom downplayed it. She'd be like, yeah, I'll do it. But she never got to it. So she came home this one day from work and she was like, okay, here's a pageant. Enter. I was like, enter? She's like, yeah, enter. I was hesitant. I was like, oh, pageantry. I've never done anything like that before. So I entered the day before, actually, the closing closed.
It's always those ones that are successful.
Last
the ones that are like, on the day, I woke up like this.
Quite literally last minute, the day before the closing day. I entered and then I progressed, semi-finalist. Then from semi-finalist, they were finalists. And I realized that there's so much more to pageantry than what we see on TVs where it's just strutting down a runway and looking pretty. Like, there's leadership that comes with it. You have to be intelligent. You have to be a leader. You have to stay determined and focused. And then we got to pageant week where I was crowned as the first princess. And then recently I was crowned as the reigning queen because our queen is now international.
Ow! Guys, do you see where we are as South Africans? I absolutely love that for you. And also, I'm glad you shared that part of the journey because, correct, people don't see the other aspects of pageantry, and we're not going to get into a conversation of why it's relevant, but I think with what you've shared, it goes to show like the confidence that it builds. Even just putting yourself out there, whether you placed or not, it starts to build your confidence. It forces you to think about things that are bigger than yourself because you're forced to commit to a cause.
True.
So when you went into this, do you think there was a part of you that did well because you might not have been as invested? And the reason I ask it that way is sometimes, when you care so much about something and you're stressed, then you're less relaxed and you maybe don't perform as well. Whereas you come in like, I just woke up, my mom said I must do a pageant. Then you actually do well because you're just being yourself.
I do think so, but at the same time, not really, because as I was progressing from semi-finalist to finalist, I started getting invested and I was like, okay, I'm enjoying this. And my mom at some point was even like, should we stop right now? We can, and I was a finalist at the time. She was like, should we end it now?
What?
I was like, no, we can't. So many people have been voting. People have been posting.
Your
if
mom
I
is
quit
my
now,
type.
I was like, no, we can't just quit now. She's like, are you sure? I was like, Mommy, I'm sure. She's like, are you sure? I was like, I'm positive. So I kept pushing. Then even with the whole finale week, the finale day, in fact, when we were being moving from the top 30 progressing to the top 5, top 10, I was a bit like, it was like an out-of-body experience because when I come backstage, I kept telling myself, if it's meant for me, it will be for me. I'm not going to force it. I'm just going to enjoy myself and live in the moment. But then when it was time for me to go on stage and walk and answer the questions, I felt like I blacked out. I felt like something else had taken over me. And my mom even mentioned that after that, she was like, I don't know who you are anymore. I don't know what I just witnessed. I don't recognize you. And I was like, oh my, really?
Do you remember the question that you were asked?
Not at all. But you know what? Funny enough, though, I was like the last person that they asked. So
Yes.
the other girls were being asked, and I kept saying, "Oh, I wish that was my question. Oh, that's such a nice question."
Yes.
Then my question came, and I was like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "Oh no." I was like, "No, I wish I had those other questions." But I just remembered that with the questions, I have to take it back to my advocacy.
Yes.
So that helped me answer my question properly.
How did you decide the cause that's close to you? I mean, I know you are an ambassador for Impilo Child Protection, but what was it that drew you to that type of advocacy work?
My advocacy is gender-based violence. In 2021, my mom's best friend passed away as a victim to gender-based violence. So that really hit home because it was one thing when we'd hear about it on the radio, see it on the TVs, like with the Uyinene situation, for instance. But now for it to actually happen close to home with the person that you would have never expected to ever suffer through this, it really broke my heart because her life was ended way before it was meant to. So it made me feel like, no, you know. And now as time is going on, we're suffering this pandemic where gender-based violence in our country is horrible. It's horrific. And I feel like not much is being done about it. Or it's a thing of, okay, yes, we'll get to it. It's being tossed to the side where it needs action now.
Look, that is extremely heartbreaking what you've shared, and condolences to all of you. I know that when somebody is taken away from you, people don't think about the best friend. You know, you think about the parents and the siblings and the kids, but it is such a ripple effect how many people are impacted, not just by the loss, but the trauma of how it happened. So I'm very, very sorry to you and your mom in particular, because it's not a small thing. In terms then of this cause, what can you share about Impilo Child Protection? We all do our best because we are living in a pandemic of gender-based violence, and children are so vulnerable at the moment. You can't even tune into a single news platform without hearing a heartbreaking story of what has happened to a child. Tell us about some of the work that Impilo Child Protection does.
I love the work that Impilo does. I love their determination. Basically, I went there for the first time, and Arlene, who's one of the main members, had shown me around. I saw some of the kids, and basically what they stand for is, she told me a story. Let me tell you the story she told me. She told me that there was a child just younger than I am who walked hours to get to Impilo, and she came holding her kid, and she was like, I was sexually assaulted by my stepfather. My mom doesn't believe me, and I can't raise this kid.
Oh, no.
So they took them in. So it really broke my heart to know that, like, this is the reality of the country that we live in. But at the same time, it also made me appreciate the work that they do, because they take in situations and cases like that where if you're unable to, you know, raise the kid because of circumstances like finances or because of sexual assault, they take that child and then they raise that child. They get the child documented. They get the child fed through donations and whatsoever, and then they raise them. And it's like they're a vital part of the child's growth and well-being.
And I think that's absolutely beautiful in terms of the fact that, you know, places like Impilo Child Protection do need support. The more you speak about it, the better for them to keep running and helping the way that they do, which means taking in a person or a child at any given moment. It is 24 hours. It does require all of us to support. So I hope all of you take the opportunity to go check out what they do and see how you can help. We're taking a break.
Year in, year out, we're fixing tires faster than a Formula One pit crew. My team is on top of things like tire whisperers. If an unforeseen accident were to happen in my workshop, at least I've got My Way business insurance to keep the wheels turning.
Visit myway.co.za or dial 0860 64 64 64 and get a quote today. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's, C's and standard rates apply. My Way. Live your way.
Until the 20th of August, enjoy these fantastic mid-month savings only at Clicks. Buy Clicks 2-ply toilet paper, 18 rolls for only $99.99 per pack. Get Clicks Made for Baby Dry Protect disposable nappies jumbo pack, 2 for 175 Rand per pack and 1 for 199. And buy Clicks 2-ply jumbo kitchen roller towels, 2 rolls per pack, 2 for 110 Rand. It's Clicks. Club Card's 30th birthday. Get more deals and deeper discounts exclusive to members. If you're not a member yet, sign up today. Clicks, feel good, pay less.
Do you know what's hiding behind the colorful packaging of unhealthy food? Big food companies target children with unhealthy packaged foods that hide high levels of sugar, salt, and fat, which could lead to heart disease, diabetes, and hypertension. But the truth is hidden from consumers. Front of package warning labels are a proven solution to help consumers make informed decisions. The government must act now. We have the right to know what's in our food. Demand front of package warning labels. Sign the petition on heala.org, HEALA.org, by the 30th of September.
Franchise your future with the vision to invest, the mindset to follow a proven system, and the drive to grow something of your own. Meet the minds behind smart investments and proven franchise success on Franchise Your Future with me, Relebogile Mabotja, brought to you by Cash Converters on 702. Plus, you could win 10,000 Rand to kickstart your journey to franchise your future. Hit primemediaplus.com now. Then every Tuesday from 1 p.m., catch Franchise Your Future on afternoons with me, brought to you by Cash Converters. Your money, your momentum. On 702, let's walk the talk.
Local entrepreneurs don't just deserve your business, they deserve your applause. Gauteng's Greatest Awards with 702, powered by Yoko.
Gauteng's Greatest Awards with 702, powered by Yoko. Time to announce some more finalists. And this means you guys need to head over to primemediaplus.com from 6 a.m. tomorrow to get voting. This means a world and so much more to the businesses that get featured here. But thank you in advance to all of you for your nominations. This is the category, your Greatest Shisanyama in Gauteng. This is a tough one. Here are your finalists. Mugodu in the north. Moyo Shisanyama and Mpo Restaurants. Let us make sure we go out and vote. Go out and vote. They come for the flavorful Shisanyama, but the vibe keeps them coming back for more. From grill to till, Yoko Counter lets you track sales, stock and staff all in one payment and point of sale system straight out of the box. Less admin, total control. That's Yoko Counter. Ready to upgrade your business? Then go to yoko.com. Now, these are the businesses you believed in. These are your finalists. Voting opens 6 a.m. on primemediaplus.com, and it's your chance to help crown the best of the best. Keep listening to 702 throughout the day as we reveal more names in the running for Gauteng's Greatest with 702, powered by Yoko. Congratulations!
702 Series Edition.
23 minutes after 2 o'clock, we continue with our series hashtag FemEffect with Femagene as we have a conversation with reigning queen, Miss Teenager South Africa, Luna Ndamase, around finding your voice in a noisy world. And we really have been delving into some of the advocacy work that she's done, but also what pageantry has done, the position it's put her in. Your calls on 011 883 0702 and the WhatsApp line 072 702 1702. We're going to go to the lines. We have Luke from Johannesburg. Hi, Luke.
Hi there. Thanks for this conversation. We adopted through Impilo, and I may just comment on just the process. They are really thorough. It takes at least a year to go through all the tests and paperwork, but they really hold the two sides of the party to account, or to kind of hold them in kindness. So the to-be parents in that journey, there's a lot going on, and that takes care and paperwork. And then the other side is the child. So, for example, you may receive, they kind of coach you that there will be this child, and this child will have some whole story, but you only get a real keyhole view of that story in a bio, and then you would make a choice. And you don't get a photograph. You get some kind of insight into where that child is at. And in some cases, what actually happened with us is that the family actually chose us from that side. So we know a little bit of what's happening on the family side, and it's amazing that your guest there is doing that ambassador work, and it's just great to hear.
Oh, Luke, thank you so much for sharing that. And I hope on another day you can talk to us about choosing the route of adoption, because we know it's not an easy process, but it also it is needed in a country like ours with children needing homes. How has it been so far being a parent?
Well, any parent will say that it's nothing less too extraordinary, incredible, but also you make it to the end of your day and you don't want to see another like that one. But I think your adoption is quite different because of the complexities. We have an open adoption, so we are in touch with the family, and I think it's just amazing joy. Our child is incredible, and we are very happy every day, all day. Yes.
Thank you so much, Luke, for talking to us and sharing about the work that Mpilo has done in assisting you with your adoption. How does that make you feel, hearing that?
It makes me feel so warm inside. I'm very happy to hear that the adoption process went well for him and he has his little bundle of joy. It just goes to show the work that Mpilo does. Like, they find families for these kids and they reconnect them and they make them feel loved and at home and at peace after being through such a traumatic experience.
Yes. And I mean, for those of you that are wondering, why would the family still be there? We will have a conversation, then you can get to understand open adoptions versus closed adoptions and the different circumstances of why families would still be in touch. But I want to read some messages. One says, Relebogile, I was so shy as a kid and a teenager and extremely awkward. I struggled to make friends as I was so always introspective. Then I read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It talks about focusing on others instead and helped me with my shyness. The most fundamental lesson I learned was that I don't need to ask anyone else's permission to be me. And to this day, I don't, because of course I did ask all of you to share with us how to find your voice in a noisy world. And another one says, congratulations to this beautiful, well-poised young lady. South Africa's definitely making waves in the pageantry space, and I love to see it. Pageantry has required of us so much more than just outward appearance. It's pushed us to be leaders, not only in our communities, but in the world. Keep going, baby girl. I love to see it. This is from Tshego Khailai, Mrs. World.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Thank you so much.
So what would you share with the young ladies listening, or even, the men and women listening, about finding your voice? I mean, you are on this journey. You're still quite young, but I think you know what you're talking about.
I would say stay true to yourself. I feel like we all have our things that set us apart from everybody else, but we need to take pride in those things, and we need to love our uniquenesses and our flaws. So stay true to yourself. Remember the things that you were taught at home. Listen to your mom's words. But all in all, just stay true to yourself. Love yourself. Be kind to yourself and be kind to one another. As women in this country, we need to learn to be kind to one another.
The hashtag FemEffect campaign with Femagene, it supports girls through access to menstrual health. Why is it important we have these conversations? Because people still want to be like, no, don't talk about your period. It's a secret,
I feel like we should have these conversations with both the young women and the boys of our country. I don't think we should limit it to the girls alone, because in all actuality, we all came from a missed period. So we need to educate.
I've never heard it like that. I'm obsessed. You came from a missed period.
We all came from this period. So why only educate the girls when their boys need to be educated as well? They have sisters.
Yes.
They're going to have girlfriends, wives. So they need to know what to pick and what does this and what does that. So
and
I do
it's
feel
natural.
Like, exactly.
Like,
it's
natural.
a part of your body.
Yes.
I do think we all need to be educated on that. As our late former president, Nelson Mandela, once said, education is key.
Yes.
From the smallest things to the biggest things, just to be informed on every single aspect. So period health, period poverty, menstrual health, both females and males need to know everything that has to do with it.
You are a star, so we must all follow you in the socials. Where do we find you?
On Instagram, I am lunandamase_.
Lunandamase_, a queen, like not just because of the crown, because of her being able to not just find her own voice, but to teach us how to find ours. Now, being a woman means showing up through every high and low and still finding your strength. Femagene supports that with pH-balanced, intimate washes and wipes designed for your body's everyday comfort and care. And through the hashtag FemEffect, every product helps provide a menstrual cup to a woman who needs one. Along with education and support, it's about care that starts with you and reaches someone else too. Because when women support each other, confidence becomes a movement. That's the Femagene, hashtag FemEffect. Time for your latest Eyewitness News headlines. Good afternoon.
Thanks, Relebogile. Good afternoon. Stats SA has sounded the alarm on the widening gender gap as women continue to fall behind in the labour force. The latest concerns follow the release of the quarterly labour force survey for the 3 months through June. The second quarter's stats saw unemployment breach the 33% mark to sit at a worrying 33.2%, with women carrying a heavier share of the burden. Pretoria has moved to reassure Washington that trade with South Africa poses no threat to U.S. industries as a scramble to reset bilateral ties continues. Trade and Industry Minister Park Stow and Agriculture Minister John Steenhuisen held a joint media briefing today on the latest developments on the ongoing trade negotiations with the U.S. This follows a cabinet meeting where options were discussed to cushion the country's economy against punitive tariffs by the U.S. administration after the 30% duty was imposed on South African goods last week. And staying with the trade tariffs, the U.S. and China have extended their trade truce for another 90 days, just hours before the world's two biggest economies were set to raise tariffs on imports of each other's goods. On Monday, President Donald Trump signed an executive order to keep the pause in place until November 10th, while Beijing also announced an extension. This means the U.S. will hold its levy on Chinese imports at 30%, while China will keep a 10% tariff on American goods. Those are the headlines. This Eyewitness News and more at 3 o'clock or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Well, at this stage, roadwork still causing heavy delays. That's in the Devland area on the Golden Highway between the N1 and Union Avenue. Also traveling through the Joburg CBD, expect some delays. This is between Parktown and Boysons on the M1 southbound from Killarney Benz to the Crown Interchange. Also slow-moving traffic in the Strubens Valley area. This is on Christian de Wet approaching Hendrik von Gitter. Look out for those faulty traffic lights. Edenville, Modderfontein Road and Van Riebeck, as well as in Midrand at Olifantsfontein Road and the N1. If you come across any other traffic issues, please SMS us on 31702. We are also on X at EWN Traffic.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
702 delivers
on the matters that matter to you.
This is Kolela from Bedford View. I love 702 because its family keeps me entertained and informed all the time, and they do walk the talk.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts,
so we can deliver more on what matters to you.
702 listens.
Let's walk the talk.
The Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra returns for the second week of the early spring symphony season under the baton of conductor May Ann Chen, joined by captivating pianist Judith Yergay. The program includes favorites by Mozart, Haydn, and Beethoven. The concert is not to be missed, Thursday the 14th of August at 7:30 p.m. at the Linda Auditorium. Tickets available through Quicket.
Change arrives kicking and screaming. It's challenging, impatient, confusing. Change is a moment of peace. Change is life affirming. Change is growth. Change is opportunity. We've always believed it's worth investing in. For over 3 decades, we have been committed to seeking out the best investment opportunities for you, wherever they may be. 91. Investing for a world of change. 91 is an authorized FSP.
Hey, Jim, what's wrong? Hi, Bob. I'm just so confused. I'm trying to buy a car, and I don't know where to stop.
Well, have you tried to... Cars.coza.
Have you tried to...
Cars.coza.
Sorry, we're trying to do an advert.
Whatever car you want to buy or sell, cut through the and just go to cars.coza and let's find what moves you. Cars.coza.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
Confirmation now from Stats SA. It's going to change the questionnaire it uses when it asks people if they are working or not. And that, of course, determines our official unemployment numbers.
Why don't we have an expanded definition of employment which says these are people who are not looking for a job and maybe they've actually got a very successful informal business. So we need to define that.
G.G. Elcock, the author of the book Kazinomic.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show with Stephen Curtis is brought to you by ABSA CIB, equipping you with efficient and secure cash management solutions for your business. Your story matters. ABSA is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
coming up
On 702 Drive with John Perlman.
702 Drive is coming up from 3 to 6 with John Perlman. John, how are you doing?
Well, thanks and good afternoon to you and all your listeners. How are you?
I am doing fantastically. I've changed. I'm not well anymore. I'm fantastic.
Okay, very nice. What's it like?
It's fantastic. I am powering through being very underslept at the moment. So I'm at the level where there's no caffeine that's going to solve this. It's like psychological psyching yourself up.
Okay.
That's where I am. So I'm doing rah. That's what I'm doing. Motivating. What's coming up on your show today?
Coming up on the show, unemployment figures are out. What's interesting, though, the overall picture is bleaker than it's always been, which was always pretty bleak.
Meaning it's gotten worse.
Yes, it has got worse. But what's interesting is figures are up in construction, and that hasn't been the case very often in recent years. So we're keen to find out. We're just trying to line up the right guest for that. We'll do it sometime between 3 and 3:30. There's some new scams around impersonation on cell phones. I do not know exactly how they work, but we'll talk to somebody who does. We'll do that after 4 o'clock. Fire out at the Home Affairs office in Germiston. If you just turn your head, you'll see it on the screen.
Yep.
We're going to find out what are the issues that led to the demonstrations. The people who organized the demonstrations say they've got nothing to do with the fire. So after 5, we'll try and just get ourselves a better understanding of all of this. And then in the United States, because there has to be a day for everything, because if you've got a day for everything, you can sell a greeting card for virtually everything. On and on it goes. But some of them are quite nice. This one is National Middle Child Day. So we thought we'd ask, what is your place in the birth order and how has that shaped you?
I'm a middle child.
There we go. It's your day.
Not only am I a middle
Fantastic.
child, I'm also an only. Guys, it's so tough as middle kids. The firstborns are always telling us their problems. The lastborn are telling us theirs. Nobody sees us. So thank you for acknowledging.
Just hook up the oldest with the youngest and say, I'm going to be out.
I did not know.
Put in your pods.
Middle child day where we don't know where we fit. Which side do we fall? We'll be looking forward to that 702 Drive with John Perlman coming up from 3 to 6 p.m.
702.
The car feature.
Time for our car feature today at 21 minutes to 3 o'clock. And we are talking the experience of driving a supercar. Now, I have to give you guys some backstory. So, a few years ago, I discovered that there's this concept of driving a supercar. And at the time, the person I was dating, I decided to give them this experience because that's what men like, right? And then recently, now I have never done it myself, which is a conversation for another day. Then recently, I saw it again and I said, man. I said, Pashida, we need to talk about this because I think not enough people know that you don't have to be some billionaire. It is accessible. You can sniff it, you can smell it, you can sit in, you can drive it. Please, can we get these people in studios? So Race Day events have come through. Jared Welby-Cook, founder of Race Day Events. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
having
Just
me.
hold on. Let's try that again. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
I am so excited for this conversation. The Need for Speed player in me from when I was a kid still just is like, so I get very excited about these conversations. How did you get into the space?
So I come from a motorsport background, did a bit of racing myself, a lot of driver training, driver development. My previous business was actually an indoor go-karting track at the Mall of Africa. And when I moved on from that, just down the road, yeah.
I love how it went from go-karting, then you're like, no, I want the real deal.
Yeah, so look, Race Day Events in its inception was actually a racing business. We were on track, we had racing cars, and we were teaching people how to race cars. But we pivoted. You know, it was a small business. It was quite tough to run. We weren't getting good numbers. And then we saw the opportunity to move into the supercar experience world. And we've done that, and we're not looking back.
Maybe talk to me about the racing part of the business. I mean, the industry is not that big. It's not like we don't have pro racers in the country. But what does it really take to be in that space where we're not like where Europe, for example, is? I would have already guessed that must be a very tough industry to get into, especially if you don't have like massive sponsors and backers.
Yes, absolutely. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, and obviously a blank check doesn't harm.
We all want blank checks.
Look, it is unfortunately for the wealthy at this stage. You know, there is a lot of youth development that happens in South Africa, but it's still a very small segment. It's not nearly as big as it needs to be, in my view. But, the guys that are doing it do a great job, and we are seeing some fantastic talent come through South Africa. We've got multiple world champions. So, I think we've got the heritage.
In terms of the skill set required, especially for a person who might not know what goes into it, can you maybe chat to us about it? Because I'm pretty sure majority of the listeners are like, I could do that. I feel like I could do that. What goes into it? I mean, like, cool, I'm going to take that curve and I'm going to take it nicely. Like, what else? I'm going to put my foot down on the accelerator. I got this.
Yeah, so look, I don't think it takes an extraordinary person to start it and do it. It's, again, just a lot of dedication, a lot of effort that has to go into it. Everybody has that perception of, I'll get in and I'll go flat out,
yes,
and it'll be easy. But look, when you're there and there's walls and turns coming towards you, you realize very quickly you're not as brave as you thought you were. And it takes a lot of bravery. You've got to be confident in your equipment and confident in yourself that when you turn that corner at that speed, it's actually going to turn. Yeah,
I'm laughing because I'm thinking about the fact that the reason those of us that have gone go-karting, the reason you will probably suck is based on how you perform with the go-karting. Hence, there are tires everywhere.
Exactly. It is the starting point. There's rental karting that you can go and do, and I think most people will realize very quickly that their ambition outweighs their talent.
Yes.
It's one of those things, right?
Yes. Okay, in terms then of you seeing this opportunity, what did you get exposed to that you thought, hey, maybe let's go into this experience space? Because, I mean, a lot of people are into gifting experiences and, not so much going the route of buying material things, but buying themselves experiences no one can ever take away from them.
Yeah, well, it's exactly that. The thing is, how many watches and shoes and things can you have, right? These things get forgotten easily, whereas experiences, you'll remember this, till the day you die. And we were obviously doing the racing training was the initial thing, and then we started moving into like racing experiences, which from an experience perspective was fantastic. But it's also it's a difficult thing to sell because not everyone in South Africa is that familiar with motorsport, and I think the idea of getting on track and going at high speed is very daunting. So, for a lot of people, they were like, no, this isn't an experience I might want to do,
Yes.
It was a bit limiting for us in that sense. And when we saw the market open up for the supercars, we decided to just try our hand at it. We were great at executing our days and our events. So we thought we'd move and change vehicles. And it's been fantastic. Our clients really love the product.
Before I ask you about the racing training, I love how you are like, well, this business is not working well, so let's need millions of rands to buy supercars. When you change your, or let me say expand the business, because I don't think you fully pivoted, right? You expanded the business. How did you, from a business perspective, actually get whatever and whoever you needed on board for the new direction? Because if somebody looks at your business, and I know this applies to all industries, if somebody looks at your business and they're like, you're not doing so great, now you come into them and say, you know what, actually, we're going to try this, but we need even more money. How do you convince, how do you get them on board for that?
Look, I think I was just lucky in terms of my business partner and having him having a lot of faith in my ideas and the business I wanted to try and run. And, as we've gone along, he's been more than accepting of our challenges. And, he wants this product, he wants the business as much as I do it. So, by hook or by crook, he's found cash for us as we go along. And, we've managed to get to where we are now. But, yeah, it's not easy, right? It was a risky pivot that we made. But we're comfortable with where we are now. And we, again, I see the people's faces when they get out the cars. And
yes.
The exhilaration, weak at the knees, it's just something special.
So do you just randomly pick one of the supercars to drive around, or the business requires that, listen, insurance means the cars stay here and don't move? Because these are things I think people don't think about. I mean, I know my dad would tell me, listen, when you own a certain level of car, you pay insurance per day that you take it out. But it's not something you're just willy-nilly monthly paying insurance to drive every day.
Yeah, so we have some supercars that we use daily that aren't in our fleet. So we're fortunate enough to have those to keep us excited during the week.
Yes.
But yes, of course, there are limitations with insurance. It was a very difficult business to get insured in the first place, and we've been fortunate enough to finally get insurance.
Because you guys are so low risk.
We're a lot lower risk than you think,
Really?
We geared up for it. We always have a professional instructor in the vehicle with you. We've even got brake pedals on the passenger side. So, if someone's getting out of hand, we keep them in check. We've never had any incidents in almost 5 years of trading. And I don't foresee any of those incidents coming up either because, the quality is in the staff and the vehicles and the equipment.
How do you modify the cars to be friendly for the business that you're doing? So, and we'll talk about the fleet just now, but do you now have your own team, or you have a specific supplier that modifies the cars the way you need them for this purpose?
So we do use one supplier for all the vehicles that modifies the vehicles in terms of the braking system. It's actually an adapted system from the driving schools. When they're teaching people to drive, they've got all the pedals to help them. And this is an adaptation of that, so it only has a single pedal. But there's one supplier that I know of in South Africa that does all our vehicles, and yeah, they've been fantastic.
Please, can we talk about the fleet?
Absolutely.
What have you got?
I think we got a little bit for everyone. We have an Audi R8 V10, which is very popular with the ladies. Girls seem to love that car the most.
Really?
Yeah. My missus and just, ladies that come to the store in general, that's the car they want to drive. So I thought I'd start with that one, being Women's Month.
Yes.
We have the Porsche 911 Turbo, a black one, from the bad boys kind of car.
Yes.
We have a Ferrari 360. We have a Lamborghini Gallardo. And then we've got a little car called an Aerial Atom, which most people won't be familiar with, but it's an extremely fast, lightweight supercar. It's spectacular. If you've watched any Top Gear, you'll see it's one of the vehicles that was basically blowing Jeremy Clarkson's face off when he was driving it.
So it's basically, if you to describe it, it's not even a closed vehicle. It's almost, for the layperson listeners, it almost looks like Formula One type of car, except it's open on the sides.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the closest thing to a single seater that you would have on the road.
Yes. Okay. In terms of how the experiences work, what does one have access to? So if somebody's like, "Yo, Relebogile, I'm sold, I want to go." Do they get, how does it all work, and what options are available when a person comes through? And I'm assuming you obviously must have a driver's license, and I would imagine you guys have a minimum age that's not 18.
So funny enough, we don't have a minimum age.
For real?
Yeah, if you've got a license, we have professionals in the vehicles. So, we're able to handle any situation. And to be honest, the younger drivers are more nervous than the older drivers. So, it's not really a big issue for us. That's the insurance side of it covers us there. So we're comfortable to let them drive.
Okay, so when a person arrives, what options are available to them? Do you say when you pay for a session, this is what you're paying for? You have access to every car, or it allows you 2 rounds on a like, how does that all work?
All right, so you would choose your individual vehicles. Typically, people would pre-buy these before they come, so they would say, okay, I want to drive this, this, and this, and they would pre-order that. But on the day when they're there, if they want to drive other cars, we make sure that we have availability, for people to drive other cars on the day if they want to. The experience is all from our shop. We're not based on a racetrack. We don't feel it was a good fit for our vehicles and for our experience. It was very rushed.
Yes.
Where we are now, there's a lot more time in the vehicles. It's a lot more personal with each person. A lot of this is gifting. So when a person's in and out of a car in 5 minutes, around a track, it's hardly that much of an experience.
Yes.
Whereas at least this way around, it's a lot more personal. We take time with each client. We do individual briefings in the car. So, it's important to get people relaxed so that they actually remember and enjoy the experience.
Are you, I would imagine, the photo opportunities and the videos are everything. How have you had to approach the business in a way that allows people to pretend like they own the Ferrari?
Well, look, we have videographers that are at all of our events. So they do in-car video, they do interviews with the people before and after, and then we put together a special little video for them. So, we always give them something to go away with, so they can remember the day and they can, pretend it was their Ferrari for a while. We like to get photos of them out on the road with just them in the car. So, if anyone wants to tell that story, they're more than welcome to.
I think that is beautiful. What is the business model, or how do you approach upgrading and rotating the fleet? Because I would imagine that some of these cars might appreciate and others might not. Like, how do you decide, hey, let's get this new one and mix it up?
Look, well, we're still in the phase of building up the fleet, so we're not actually at the point of replacing the existing cars just yet. We do, we buy our cars very carefully. We make sure that they are the absolute best of the vehicles that we can find, and we're fortunate that all these vehicles will appreciate over time. They're all going up in value. They're very rare, scarce cars, so. Over time, look, I'm not saying they're going to double in value, but they're always going up. So at no point are the assets devaluing.
There's a question which says, where do I sign up to get racing training to join a rally cross team, Chad in Johannesburg?
Sure. Rally training, I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. Again, you got to start with karting. And people don't realize the importance of karting. A kart is the most fundamental.
As in go-karting.
As in go-karting.
Yes.
Yeah. And not the go-karting that you see at the mall and that. I mean, that's a good place to start. Go and do a few laps. But then you want to get into a more professional vehicle. And you need to learn to master that vehicle. And once you can master that, you can move into, bigger vehicle classes, or you can go to rally or off-road racing. But I really, as a trainer myself, I always recommend start with karting, cut your teeth there, and then move on.
It being Women's Month, how many women are you sort of seeing getting more interested in vehicles at the level that men are, in love with vehicles?
So my business is quite interesting in the person who buys the voucher most of the time is a woman, all right, and it's typically gifted to a man. But then on the flip side, a lot of men also buy their wives' experiences to come and drive. And I promise you, women enjoy the experience more than men. The looks on their faces and how they enjoy it. I think men a lot of the time have done a lot of things, and like in terms of motorsports and driving cars and things. So when it comes to ladies getting in there, I think they're so blown away by what it is. And it's not something they would necessarily go out and do, but when they go and do it with us, they rave about it and they have a great time. So Yeah, that's. I think ladies do love it, but it's just a bit of a tough sell to get them in. They're not always sure they want to do it.
I'm having a chuckle to myself because I'm like, if your husband takes you for a test, for me, you're communicating that you're buying me the car soon. Because I'm like, come on, is this not me saying I like the car? Get it for me.
Yeah, I'll take it.
How much does it cost for you to go in this experience?
So prices are from 1,250 Rand up per experience. The route is about 10 kilometers long. Each experience takes about 20 minutes to complete. The prices vary on the vehicles. So depending what you want to drive and how many you want to drive, that would obviously change the costing. But yeah, from 1,250 Rand. So really not that expensive.
The website?
You can get us at race-day-events.co.za. You can get us on Instagram and TikTok, Race Day Events, one word, _ZA. And on Facebook, we are Race Day Events.
And I hear that you guys are looking to go into Cape Town.
Yes, we are. Well, look, before we get to Cape Town at the end of the year, we're obviously coming into, the corporate season now, year-end functions and team builders and that. So that gets extremely popular before the end of the year. But from December until the end of February, we will be in Cape Town. We're doing a pilot project down there for 3 months. Some of the most beautiful roads in the world and some of the most beautiful cars in the world.
I mean, the cars, the ocean view, I am so down for it. Thank you so much for coming through. Thank you so much for chatting to us in our car feature for today.
Thank you so much.
Dear Journal, day 3049 of trying to be an adult. I still haven't bought a recycling bin, so there's a mountain of cans in my kitchen that could collapse at any moment. Anyway, what's that saying about your home being a reflection of your mental state?
Got evicted from the family home? Get covered at pineapple.co.za. It's like 570 Rand a month, so it's 100% the insurance for you. Underwritten by Old Mutual Alternative Risk Transfer Insurer Limited, licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP. Premiums are risk profile dependent.
What is Overtrail? Is it off the beaten path, over the edge of comfort, or the thrill of the road less taken? It's over every bridge, every obstacle, every trail, and over to that view that takes your breath away. Overtrail means going further, exploring deeper, surrounded by the comfort and sophistication of a luxury SUV. It's this spirit that inspired the Overtrail project. Experience Overtrail in the LX and GX range. Lexus, experience amazing.
It's the clarion call for the 26th Standard Bank Joy of Jazz. This year, plan your days wisely because we're pulling out all of the stops. Jazz at Lincoln Center, featuring the legendary Wynton Marsalis, returns in triumph to the Sandton Convention Center on the 26th and 28th of September 2025. But that's not all. Over 60 world-class acts light up 4 stages throughout the weekend. Actually, why even choose? Treat yourself to the full experience. Grab all 3 days exclusively on Ticketmaster. Take me there.
Entrepreneurs don't just deserve your business, they deserve your applause. Gauteng's Greatest Awards with 702, powered by Yoko.
Time to announce another finalist in Gauteng's Greatest Awards with 702, powered by Yoko. You guys did the things we said. Go ahead, nominate all of those businesses. It does so much for them in this year's Gauteng's Greatest, and you did that. Yo, and I'm so excited. This category is a big one. Greatest boutique shop / local designer. And all of these businesses will be so happy to hear that they have been nominated. And then you have to go to primemediaplus.com to vote for your favorite. Here they are. Rosa Handmade in SA. Salty Red Kids Clothing. The Clearance Closet. Street Couture in Soweto. And Rare Earth. Congratulations to all of you on being finalists in this category. Now, retail moves fast. Yoko Counter keeps up. The smart point of sale system gives you one place to accept payments, track sales, manage your team, and monitor inventory all in real time. It is the smartest till you will ever own. Ready to grow? Then go to yoko.com. These are the businesses that all of you believed in. These are your finalists. Voting opens at 6 a.m. on primemediaplus.com, and it is your chance to help crown the best of the best. Keep listening to 702 throughout the rest of the day as we reveal more names in the running for Gauteng's greatest with 702, powered by Yoko. Thank you so much for joining us on 702 Afternoons. Back tomorrow, it's 3 o'clock.
This is EWN.
The gender gap broadens within the country's labour force, and AfriForum accuses the president of capturing the national dialogue. Good afternoon, I'm Maki Malapo. Stats SA has sounded the alarm on the widening gender gap as women continue to fall behind in the labour force. The latest concerns follow the release of the quarterly labour force survey for the 3 months through June. The second quarter stats saw unemployment breach the 33